Many of you have reached out to us since the election, and though many were disappointed by the results, you've let us know you appreciated our reporting and the reporting of those results in a calm and measured way.
Yeah, we have been especially thankful for the kind words we've received from those who voted for President Trump.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. Now, the media continues to lose their minds following the election. And if you thought they were delusional before, well,
Many of you have reached out to us since the election, and though many were disappointed by the results, you've let us know you appreciated our reporting and the reporting of those results in a calm and measured way.
but just the other day...
Well, if she were a 6'4" white man from Arkansas or from, Florida, and she ran a good middle-of-the-road campaign talking about reaching out, do you think she would be losing by that much?
Very, very measured and rational, that Morning Joe program. I mean, just ask them.
Yeah, we have been especially thankful for the kind words we've received from those who voted for President Trump, and we're going to continue our best efforts to be fair and objective in reporting on the incoming administration.
Still objective?
Fascist.
That objective Morning Joe. They're going to objectively cover...
Be fair and objective in reporting on the incoming administration.
Yeah, sure.
We'll start this morning with Donald Trump's pick for Secretary of Defense. He has chosen Fox News host Pete Hegseth as the next leader of the Pentagon. Hegseth is a military veteran who served with the Army National Guard.
Mika fails to mention his 20 years of service, his combat tours, and how he's highly decorated, but the left just madly rails against this Trump appointment.
On a podcast just last week, Hegseth criticized what he called woke policies in the military.
Not liking woke policies, has 20 years of service, including combat tours. I mean, what the heck does this guy know?
So is this the guy who's qualified to make decisions about the most powerful military in the world, who clearly does not know anything about the military?
The problem is much more qualified people have gone into that role to disrupt the Pentagon, make it more streamlined, less bureaucratic, and they've never succeeded. They've ended up being outmaneuvered by four-star generals and the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Wouldn't that mean that the four-star generals with all the experience were the problem? I mean, the media just can't keep their arguments straight here on any of the cabinet nominees.
The second Trump White House taking shape as Donald Trump picks more cabinet members and other high-ranking officials. The president-elect making these decisions with one key trait at top of mind.
Loyal. We could use some more loyalty, I will tell you that. I love loyalty.
People in politics can be very disloyal. I've never seen anything like it.
Loyalty, a quality that Donald Trump has prized, you can see there, throughout his life, and one that seems to be the key to getting a job in the second Trump White House.
You see, now that's the key. Trump only picks people who are loyal and agree with him, which is why exactly 1 minute later, literally on the same show...
Overnight, CNN learned Trump is likely to pick Marco Rubio as his Secretary of State, according to two sources familiar with his thinking. But you may remember they ran against each other for president back in 2016. Let's take a little walk down memory lane. No pun intended on that word little. Watch it.
Have you seen his hands? They're like this. And you know what they say about men with small hands?
I want to show the size of my hands, how I could grab him.
So we didn't see him say Little Marco, but that was the nickname. Well, so Doug, how do you come back from this kind of a thing with Trump? If you are Marco Rubio, how is it that he is in the inner circle considering these realities?
So he'll pick people he's disagreed and argued with, but he only picks people that give him loyalty and agree with him. So, well, anyway, all of this is just too radical for CNN's fake news favorite, Jim Acosta, to handle.
I want to begin the hour with Democratic Congressman Brendan Boyle of Pennsylvania to talk about the new Trump agenda. Congressman, thank you very much for joining us. We're starting to learn more about Trump's radical agenda. I was just talking about it a few moments ago. Let's go through some of the most repeated promises out on the campaign trail. We're going to show this to our viewers. Mass deportations of 11 million undocumented immigrants, unprecedented tariffs on foreign goods from all countries, but especially China, trillions in cuts in government spending. He says, with the help of Elon Musk.
You can't do things like cut government spending.
It's baddiness, it's craziness, and I feel like I've seen this movie before, and often the sequel is no better than the original.
Oh, I do think costs could be cut better than they were before, but with Lee Zeldin nominated to helm the EPA and potential cuts to wasteful spending, people will just be lucky to survive.
But it just seems like if these other picks, Jim, that you were talking about are any indication, these are pressure tests, you know, for the American and for the Senate. And when it comes to environmental rollbacks and what he would hope to do and gut from day one on, you got to imagine the sky is the limit for Lee Zeldin and that agency. And there's a lot of folks who were there, survived the first term, who are terrified today, Jim.
Look at Acosta's concern. You can't downsize government. That's a terrifying thought. The media is spreading about all the concerns they have over all of Trump's cabinet appointments.
The institution can only bear so much weight. Matt Gaetz, Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard. What if RFK Jr. is nominated for a position?
These institutions, they can only take so much. I mean, this could be crushing to government norms, the ones that operated so well, like at FEMA, where the supervisor instructed employees to avoid helping homes in Florida that had Trump signs in their yard. Oh, by the way, CBS and NBC didn't cover that. Just don't talk about that. The media would rather talk about other things like Trump's cabinet picks being too masculine.
Almost always a performative masculinity and dominance sort of pageant that goes along with it. And it's always ridiculous, right? I mean, you get like a schlub like a Berlusconi, or you get a schlub, frankly, forgive me, like Donald Trump, or you get Robert F. Kennedy, who's like 160 years old, and he's like juiced to the gills and talking about how we need to get all the chemicals out of our food. And it's like, yeah, dude, could you say that with like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the biceps, in your seventh decade.
Yes, I think he does push-ups.
Imagine that. MSNBC hosts don't like masculinity. They also don't like a 70-year-old man that can do push-ups. That's not the norm. Norms in Washington will just be broken.
A so-called cabinet in waiting, as the Washington Post calls him this morning, that has Washington on edge. CNN's Zachary Cohen is leading us off. Zachary, forget about all these norms. It appears to be the only normal thing right now is that, well, I don't know what.
The only norms the leftist media want to break are those that deal with family and loved ones, like don't make love to your significant other because Trump got elected.
There's a lot of anti-women feeling around the world. Yeah. Be careful.
Well, I'm just going to say this.
We all came from
you didn't get here by yourself, man. You can't do this without us. Yeah. And if we don't let you, you don't get any.
Oh, no, well, if you don't hold out on us, please, what will we ever do except not have to picture you ever having sex? That would that'd be a relief. Members of The View also expressed that during the holidays, you shouldn't gather with family, especially if they voted for Trump, because just like them, you need to be filled with deep-seated hatred.
Whatever your reason is, I would never let my politics be the reason I don't show up to see my family, because they won't always be there.
I'm going to disagree. I completely understand her point, because I really do feel that this candidate, President-elect Trump, is just a different type of candidate. From the things he's said and the things he's done and the things he will do, it's more of a moral issue for me. And so I think when people feel that someone voted not only against their families, but against them and against people that they loved, I think it's okay to take a beat.
I love morality being preached by someone who claims they deserve reparations.
And we want our reparations.
When they are the direct descendants of actual slave owners.
And so the family business, I have been told that they were printers and journalists, but they were in fact enslavers.
No moral issue there to question. Just take the other people's money.
I believe in reparations, by the way, so y'all can stop texting me and emailing me and saying that I'm a white girl and that I don't deserve reparations.
I'm Eric Shiner, asking you not to alter your holiday spirit. Be charitable. Head over to the MRC homepage, click on that donate button, visit MRC-TV for the latest in information, entertainment, and videos, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe to these videos and the places that actually let you see them. We'll be back soon with another look at leftist media madness.